Hello everyone and welcome to the Sim Auto Racing Association Sim Marketing Solutions Super Series for the HeinzPride.com Championship 200 here at Lanier Speedway. Tonight you will watch the top iRacing Super Late Model Series drivers do battle here at this little bull ring for the last race of the season here at the Sim Auto Racing Association. And we have a tight points battle between Joe Shaffer and Jim Codell. Joe Shaffer is currently 13 points up over Jim Codell, so there's a lot that can still happen here tonight. Some things that need to play out in Jim Codell's favor for him to walk away with his first championship. But if you're Joe Shaffer Jr., you got to feel confident coming in here to tonight and walking away with your fourth Super Late Model Series championship. But before we get into all those scenarios and what's going on, first I would like to introduce my co-host here tonight, Ty Spearman. Ty, thanks for coming up here in the booth for me tonight. We have the championship throwback schemes here. So what can we look forward to here tonight, and what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. It's pretty exciting considering how how tight the points are. I know this little bull ring that we've got here at Lanier is notorious for really needing forward drive off the corners, and we also see a lot of times second groove develop here, whether people are up on top or whether they're even trying to run the apron to try to find some grip. I know in last night's contender series I watched an admin. It was really hard for people to get off the bottom to make a pass, but it's possible. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we have a full field here tonight. 29 cars are going to be out here, so it's going to be 8 instantly. And right now, Matthew Eddy's leading the way. He's top of the practice charts here. But let's go ahead and bring in Jim Codell, see if we can get a word with him real quick, get his thoughts and what he thinks about tonight's race. Jim, thanks for joining me up here in the booth. Just real quick, take a little moment out of your practice time. Currently, you come in here second in points, 13 points behind Joe Shaffer. You're going to be starting 10th here tonight. Why don't you tell me just a little bit about your thoughts coming into tonight's race and what your plan is, and what you think about your car.
It's hard to say. I think our car's good. Really put a lot of extra effort into qualifying this week, but it didn't really pay off. It's something we've just missed all year. So we'll see. I think like I said, I think our car's good, and I think it'll be a good race. And got 200 laps to make our way up to the front.
Yeah, you got plenty of time to do it. I mean, you're starting 10th here tonight, no matter what. Even though that's where you qualified here, winning last week. Excuse me. Tonight you're rocking a special paint scheme here. What paint scheme are you rocking here tonight, and why'd you choose that one?
Got the Jimmy Johnson scheme from 2013, the black with the white stripes. I've always kind of been somebody who likes a fairly simple paint scheme, and I thought it kind of fit the occasion. I was hoping to do it justice by having a chance at the title, which mathematically we still do, but it's a tall task as far as that goes. So but Cam done a great job, as he does on all of our cars. So really got to thank him for that and getting that car ready for us this week.
All right. Well, before we get you back out there and let you get some more practice laps in, is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody at the association, first of all, those guys have got us a good race car this week. And this is the last week of the season. Those guys have just done an awesome job. These cars have been such a pleasure to drive, for the last 6-7 weeks, and we were good right before the build too. We'd finally got on something. So Cam and Tyler Price and Jimmy, coming on board, Tyler Breeden, everybody kind of had a hand in it. So thank them, thank C&J Energy Services, everybody that watches the broadcast every week. My mom, my sister. My boss Chris, Cody, my Uncle Greg. So got to thank all those people, and again Matt and you guys for doing the broadcast, and look forward to getting the last race in, and can't wait to be back next season too.
Well, we look forward to watching you here tonight and see what you got for these guys, and good luck to you, and maybe with we'll talk to you here a little bit later on tonight, finishing the top 3.
Sounds good, Derek. I appreciate it.
All right, bud. That's Jim Codell Jr. starting 10th here tonight, second in points. Obviously, he's a guy to watch as he's been fast all year long, and he's got 3 or 4 wins under his belt already for this season. Maybe try to come away with another. Well, let's go ahead and bring in one more guy, the guy that is currently P1 in the point standings, qualified third here tonight as well, and that is Joe Shaffer Jr. Joe, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. Take some time away from your practice. Just got on speaking with Jim Codell, and he's looking forward to racing here tonight, knowing that it's a long shot that he can win the title. Currently, you most likely are going to be winning the title outside of unforeseen circumstances. But how do you feel your race is going to go tonight, and what do you think you have to do to walk away with that championship?
Well, first of all, let me start by walking back my tirade from last week. Pretty unsportsmanlike for me to get on the radio like that after the race. I'm a competitive guy, and I just let my temper get the best of me, and what I said wasn't true. I love racing Jim and Jimmy and all those guys, and I know they weren't racing to plot against me, so I'd like to apologize to them for that. But in regards to tonight, like you said, I think it's after qualifying, I think that kind of seals it. Jim needed max points to get me tonight, so it'll be a pretty stress-free race for me. I'm just gonna try to keep my nose clean and obviously not find some way to get myself penalized and lose any points that way.
Well, I mean, you had a good qualifying spot. Obviously, he's starting there behind you. Ty spoke on it a little bit just earlier in this broadcast about how it can be difficult to pass here. So being you are starting on the bottom here tonight, are you going to be pushing too hard to go for the win, or are you just going to try to settle in, get some laps under your belt, and just kind of see where everything falls?
Given how this car has worked, I mean, it's junk, and you got to pass everybody you can as soon as you can when the tires are still fresh and on a restart. So it's not in my nature to go racing and not try to win. So I'm going to try to go forward as quick as I can and hold everybody else off, and maybe we'll get lucky tonight.
All right, bud. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on you and see how things play out for you. Before we let you go, is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I want to thank the posse for helping me out all season. Especially Bill, Majeski, and Ty here towards the end of the season. After the build, it took a lot, and I wasn't really a ton of help. So they put a lot of time in and found some stuff that worked, and I just go out there and try to drive it.
All right, bud. Well, good luck to you here tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again once this is all over with.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Joe Shaffer Jr. trying to come out on top, well, maybe with the win here tonight and definitely with the points championship. We'll go ahead and bring in the guy that was third place here tonight, or in the points, excuse me. These three guys, Codell, who we spoke with, Shaffer, who we just spoke with, and Jimmy Mullis were the top 3 guys this season. And Jimmy, thanks for taking just a little bit of time out of your practice session here to speak with us. I've asked the other 2 guys, now you're mathematically out of this, so you're just out here to get wins. And do you think you have a good piece here tonight to come away with the win?
Yeah, I think we've got a good race car. We've been bringing good race cars, so hopefully tonight's not any different. In testing, we've kind of been thrown for a loop with a couple things, but I think we may have knocked them out, and I hope we do, or did, and just going to try to go win tonight. And other than that, just it was a great season. Just had a lot of rough luck, I guess, at the beginning, and when I got paired up with Jim and them, things got turned around really quickly, and they were going really good. But it was just a little bit too late, and Joe was able to close it out tonight in qualifying. So congrats to him. He did a good job all season.
Well, like you stated, you're just here for the wins here tonight. So I know you're starting in the top 10. I'm not 100% sure where you're starting after the invert. I believe you may be starting 9th, but I'm not sure. But what is your key that you look forward to here tonight, what you need your car to do to get you into victory lane?
Just going to need grip off. That's one thing I didn't have last week at Martinsville at the end of the race. And I feel like if I've got anything to get off the corner, then I'll be pretty good in terms of that. But I don't know. The posse and Tim Bills and them, they've all been picking up speed here recently. So, we'll see how we hold up. And just come out here and race.
All right, bud. We'll get you on your way here. Good luck here tonight. And before we do, is there any thanks for shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, got to thank the guys at the association. We've worked hard this week. I've probably put in the most laps this week that I have all season. Just trying to find the masterpiece for race trim to try and, help Jim out, get us a good chance at trying to get the title, but and going for the win as well. Also, thanks to JDR Graphics running a special scheme tonight. The first scheme that he ever had in the Cup Series, his junior's Diet Mountain Dew car from 2012. So thanks to him, as always, for making my cars look good, and you guys for the broadcast.
All right, but well, we appreciate it, and good luck here to you tonight, and maybe we'll talk at the end of the night as well.
Thank you.
All right. That was Jimmy Mullis. Keep an eye on him. He's been fast all year long. He stated he had just a little bit bad luck, but he's going to work his way up to the front. That's almost guaranteed. We'll go ahead and bring in Matt Rolfe here one last time. We've got just a little bit of time left before we grid up. Matt, thanks for joining us here tonight. Tonight is the HoddsPrides.com Championship 200. Can you provide just a little bit of insight to everyone what exactly Hodds Pride is and what they do for us and what their business is?
Yeah, so Hodds Pride has been a big supporter of us the last, I guess, probably almost 2 years now. It's been a few seasons that they've helped us out. So Hodds Pride is a family-owned leather and sheepskin company in Vermont. They do a lot of stuff like they make leather jackets, belts, holsters, all that kind of stuff, briefcases, pretty much anything you can do out of leather and sheepskin. That's what they do. They do a great job at it. They're a big supporter of us. Can't thank them enough, as well as Mark Royer and Craig Pearson for kind of setting that all up for us. So appreciate them being with us for so long now, and we are running out of time here, so just quickly, just want to thank them. Thank Sim Marketing Solutions for coming on board this season. It's been a great season, and hopefully we can finish out this with a great race here tonight.
All right, bud. Well, good luck to you here tonight, and we'll talk to you after the race, and we can wrap up the season.
All right, thanks.
All right. That was our fearless leader, Matt Rolfe. And like I said, we got about 12 more seconds for the everyone grids up. Now, Ty, I want to go ahead and bring you in. I got a question for you. So you heard Mullis and Codell talking about having drive off. Exactly how does one get good drive off in one of these cars, ideally, not necessarily with the current circumstances that they're under?
I'm going to be honest with you, Derek. I have no idea what Codell and those are doing. Apparently, they're doing something a little different than we are. I'm not sure if it's with a different gear or whatever, but like you guys with your team, we've all experimented with different shocks, different springs, anything to try to get a little bit of grip off. And I'm not sure if anyone's found it other than Jim and those. Whatever they're doing is working.
Well, we'll see if they have anything here tonight. They've been a little bit slower than what they have been, but we'll go ahead and bring up the grid and go through the lineup here and let you know that, like I said, everyone here tonight has a throwback scheme, so some pretty cool looking rides out here, some different looking rides at that. But starting on the pole here tonight is Bill Martin. I'll just let you know real quick, Tim Bills did set fast time, but there was a 7-car invert, and Jim Codell Jr. will start 10th due to the winner's invert, but that's actually where he qualified as well. So that's where he's going to start. But Bill Martin's on the going to lead everyone to the green. Ryan Matthews is on the outside of him. In row 2 is Cameron Hamilton and David Kikorian. Starting 5th is Joe Shaffer. 6th is Brandon Wilkinson. 7th was the guy that was fast time here, Tim Bills. 8th, who had a great run last night in the Davis Chassis Works Contender Series, is Jared Boris. 9th is Jimmy Mullis, and round your top 10 is Jim Codell. Starting 11th and 12th is Trevor Edwards and Justin LeDuc. LeDuc's been fast here of late. Tyler Breeding and Matt Rolfe are just behind them, and Michael Goddard in the 38 is 15th. 16th is Keith Medeiros. 17th is Russell Brown. 18th, A.J. Rogers. 19th and 20th is Donald Clark and Brian Helm. Adam Joslin starts 21st. Gareth Gonder, who was fast last night as well, is 22nd. Justin Warner, 23rd. 24th is Jared Wakefield. Samuel Roush and Matthew Eddy's just behind them. Jason Tarasenko and Mark Royer is 27th, 28th, and 29th, but last but not least, is Tyler Brown. As the pace car is going to go ahead and pull off, it's on Bill Martin, and we are green, green, green. Gets off to a great start there. They go down into 1 and 2. Cameron Hamilton's going to try to fill in just behind them. These guys are side by side. They're going to be fighting for the battle, or for the bottom here early on. And Todd, you suspect that the top lane will come in at all tonight based off what you've seen last night?
I think with the more cars tonight, yes, I do believe that the top line will eventually come in.
How long do you think it'll take to come in? Now, when I was in it last night, it took a while for it to come in, but these guys are generally a little bit faster than what we race on Wednesday nights, and just a shade bit better. So do you think with that and the amount of cars, since there are more cars in this race as well, will help that second lane come in just a little bit faster?
I believe so, yeah.
Well, right now they're still single file from 1 through about 10th to 11th. It looks like the David Krikorian's the first car there in the 66. That's double foul. Looks like he's going to find his way in. Now it goes back to Jared Boris in his 46 Tabasco car. There's a lot of throwback schemes here tonight. They all look extremely good. Guys put in some work on some of these paint schemes, and to do this, and we do this pretty much around this time every year for the throwback. We had it in all 3 series where you could throw a throwback scheme. You probably won't see one duplicate out here, as Boris there is running the 1998 Toboggan Tabasco Cup car. Daryl Hamlin painted that car, did a good job there on that. They'll just stay right back here with David Krikorian in the 66. He's still on the outside, and if anybody can get that outside working, it's going to be David Krikorian. It seems like if he can pass someone on the outside, he will definitely do it. You see his car there is the 2006 Rip Michaels Stock Building Supply NASCAR Southwest Series scheme. Good looking ride that he has there. Maybe having some issue with treating paints. That's what I see. What you see maybe just a little bit different. Try to get that squared away. Right now we're 11 laps in, 11 out of 200, long race. I know it's pretty easy to use up your stuff here early, as we got a freight train up front. Bill Martin still leading the way. Cameron Hamilton second. Joe Shaffer Jr. rounds out your top 3. Now in builds past, Ty, we at T4X were able to get the car to work really well in the apron. With this build, it's next to impossible to do. But the track would widen out pretty well, where you'd have almost 3 grooves. With it not being able to pass on the apron, and it's pretty difficult to pass on the outside, do you think everyone's going to get a little over patient and ride behind someone and use some bumper, or how do you think that's going to go here tonight, since it is kind of hard to pass?
Yeah, pardon me. I think that you're going to see a lot of people use the bumper just a little bit, and also take the line away of the guy on the outside in the corner. So basically, the guy on the inside who's trying to make the pass will enter the corner a little bit higher than he normally has, effectively taking the line away from the guy on the outside, making him run a little bit higher than he wants to, and try to the guy on the inside maybe finally completing the pass that way.
Well, you got the front 8 cars there, pretty much nose to tail, small little gaps in between them. Then you got a little gap there back from 8th to 9th, about a second and a half. Right now, Trevor Edwards has been all over the rear end of his 32 car. He's been all over the rear end of the 25 of Tyler Breeding. And that might be our first little bump and run there. I know last night in mine, I made a couple of passes down low early on. And then once you really got some heat into the track, it was, like I said, it was extremely hard to do. I think overheating could be an issue here tonight as well, depending on what gear people are running. I know that's probably been a more widespread thing to try to help with these cars when the wheels spin off, is choosing the proper gear. If anyone's running 50% tape in a pretty tall gear, or a pretty short gear, excuse me, then we may see some engines let go, especially if you're tucked in right behind someone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think last night during practice, if I'm not mistaken, Jared Chernobyl his motor in practice after about 20 laps or so with 50% tape. So yeah, I would be surprised if anyone's running 50.
Yeah, he was tucked up behind someone for those 20 laps, and then he grenaded the motor. And as Edwards, if we're still on Trevor Edwards there, gave the bump to Tyler Breeding. That's what you were speaking of there, Ty, is you kind of get impatient as it is a little bit difficult to pass. Breeding gets a little loose. Edwards is still right there trying to make the outside work. And it's super easy to overcook these corners to get down in these things and get the car pretty loose. And it's looked like what happened with Edwards there for a little bit. But we got a good battle here for the battle into the top 10. Got a bunch of cars all over the top of each other. You pretty much have from 9th back to 16th, all right there in your picture frame.
Yeah, I can promise you those two drivers there, between Trevor and Tyler, neither one of them will give an inch.
Yeah, those guys are extremely hard to pass. I think we've spoken on it before. Trevor is extremely hard to pass. He's probably the hardest person to pass that runs in our league. He will give you a hard way to go no matter what. And, you know, rightfully so. That's his job. But he's having a hard time getting around Breeding. And in the meantime, Goddard's trying to work over Edwards. And Medeiros, who won in the Davis Chassis Works Contender Series last night in my split, he's making his way up here towards the top 10. He was fast there last night as well. Not missing anything up front. Currently, Bill Martin still leading the way, just about 0.3 of a second over Cameron Hamilton. And as I say that, it looks like Joe Shaffer Jr. is trying to work at high side as they are doubled up for second place. Ryan Matthews is just right behind them, and they're going to be catching lap down traffic here sooner rather than later. We have our first caution. Looks like it might be the 79 car of Adam Joslin. He's facing the wrong way as Casey Kane paint scheme. Got the 26 of Brian Helm and the 18 car. Go back here to Adam Joslin and see exactly what happened. I think he may get caught up in this mess. Or he might be the reason for it. Let's find out. Coming out of fourth, down the front. Back down the back here once more. No, gets the bumper there a little bit from the 17. Roush comes in there and can't check up in time in the 13 car, and then it's the same way there for the 26 and Helm, and then the 18 of Donald Clark. The tough break there for them, but Joslin got the boot there from the 17 car of A.J. Rogers. Just touched him just a little bit, and Ty, you know, if these cars are already loose on entry and you just get a little bit of help, you might as well forget about it.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, you're 30 laps in. You don't have to drive it that hard right now. But, I mean, he didn't hit him hard. It just was just enough to turn him, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see if he ends up claiming that caution or not. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and go to just radio only, audio only. We're going to try to work on the trade and paints issue. But yeah, like I said, we'll see if A.J. Rogers ends up claiming that caution there. Basically, if you're new to the Sim Auto Racing Association, we do have a gentleman's rule where you claim the caution if you cause the caution. And you get an EOL during the race. Now, after the race, the admins will go back and watch the whole race. And if you do not claim the caution, or what is to believe would be your fault, then you will get an EOL in the results. So it's always best to go ahead and take it now. We're currently doubled up. It's on Bill Martin once again for the restart. We'll see if he's able to get off to a good restart or if he spins the tires, and that can be said for pretty much everyone else in the field. Most likely he's going to be starting in third, and quick shifting up in the fourth and just letting it roll from there. But we'll see what he does. We're back to green, green, green. He gets nice. Wheel spins just a little bit, but he gathers it up quite nicely. Goes down into one and cooks it in there. Schaefer's going to get in there below him. So it looks like we're going to have a battle for the lead. Joe Shaffer Jr.'s got a nose in on him. See what kind of drive he gets. Flyman can go ahead and wave the green flag once again as they're doubled up about 10 rows deep. You got the posse teammates up front here now. We know these guys are going to end up running each other pretty hard, but how hard do y'all race each other there, Ty?
Well, considering Joe can probably race pretty hard, I mean, he wants to lead, and Bill don't want to give it up, obviously, and that's all right. That's how you should race, regardless if you're on the same team.
That's right, as they're close out of 4 there. Now look who's into the picture now. You got Jimmy Mullis in the 40 car, and so is Jim Codell Jr. So you got your top 3 as the teammates make contact. They spin down in there. This is not what you want. Oh, and Bill Martin gets collected into it, so is Cameron Hamilton. Oh, that's exactly not what you want if you're the posse teammates, especially if you're Joe. I think he's going to get away with just minimum damage, and it's a tough break there for Bill. Still working on our trade paints thing, so you have to take my word for this. As it was close contact, I could not tell myself if Bill ended up just getting a little bit loose and came down onto Joe or what. So. Yep, it's still tough just even going back and looking at it. So I mean, if you're Joe Shaffer, you're only 13 points up on Jim Codell coming in here. You got Jimmy Mullis, so you don't have to worry about points wise. If anything, he's your best friend right now, and you can maybe take away some more points from Jim Codell if Joe is deemed to be fought for that caution. It'd be hard to say. But you can't give up too many points, and obviously he's got away from a wreck there. If he got in a wreck there, that could have cost him the championship.
Yeah, I think if you're Joe, it's still early in the race. You go ahead and claim that one, and in my opinion, and work your way back. It's kind of hard to tell how, if Joe came up or Bill came down or they just met in the middle and it was a racing deal. But I know that apparently Bill went ahead and took the EOL for that particular incident.
Go back down into 3 and 4. And they're still side by side going down into 1 and 2. And Mullis is going to look low on Shaffer. It's going to be close coming out of here. But right now it looks like Mullis has really good, maybe just a little snug in the center, but he is really good off. And Codell is just waiting to see what he can do. Maybe make some moves on the outside as Tyler Breeding's made his way back up to 4th. That's good for him. He was back there and about battling for 9th. Looks like Joe's got his kind of pulled it down here a little bit, maybe trying to pull away as everyone else is battling for position behind him. As these paints are coming up, you'll see that Joe Shaffer Jr. has the Valvoline car. It's the Mark Martin paint scheme, and it's a good looking ride that he has there on that one. Some of these other cats, like Ryan Matthews, has the 51 Country Time paint scheme.
I would believe it's a Neil Bonnet throwback.
Yes, he does have it labeled as a 1994 Neil Bonnet throwback scheme. It looks like something you would rock there, Ty. Your pink and yellow sprint cars.
Yeah. I don't see how his car is still running. He T-boned Bill Martin as he came across the racetrack, but it's amazing that Ryan's car still has speed.
Anything, it may have done him some favors and tightened him up. Yep, it looks I had some connection issues myself, so excuse me on that one. Back here to Keith Medeiros in the 60 car. Him and Tim Bills are running side by side. You got Trevor Edwards on the outside of him and then Jared Morris just behind them. So you got guys for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th doing battle here. Good little battles all over the track. It's actually been a little bit more racy tonight than it was last night. So this is pretty good to see. Maybe some guys are paying attention to last night's race or what have you. Maybe just because there's more cars out here. It's widened out the groove a little bit. And these guys have time to do some battles.
Yeah, I mean, the track temperature is 14 degrees higher than we started at lap 60, and we had a caution or two. So it heats up very quickly.
We got a battle for the lead as Jimmy Mullis is now looking under Joe Shaffer. Shaffer's way up. Trying to see if there's anything up there in the cooler pavement, per se. He's all the way up there in about the, what group do you call that, about 2.5 or so. And he's making some pretty good time. Mullis was about a 10th faster than him last lap. Well, there's about as even as you can get that lap. And if you're Jim Codell, you're trying to find a way around both these guys because you're just trying to get as many points as you can, end with the win at that. They're actually pulling away from Tyler Breeding and Ryan Matthews. So as these guys are doing battles side by side, maybe once more, they're still pulling away from the guys that are in 4th and 5th. He called L down there on the apron a little bit. Looks like Mullis is slowly creeping ahead of Shaffer here for the lead. Going back down the backstretch. These guys have been side by side for about 8, 9 laps now.
You know, one thing I'm wondering, Derek, is if Joe went to the outside because he started overheating a little bit. I mean, the damage in the front of the car can be helping.
Well, you have a point. Unfortunately, I'd say we can go on board and look at his temperature, but I don't think that depicts an inaccurate visual there. I think we do have an insider potentially in the booth that could find something out about that, but I'm not 100% sure. As you see, Jimmy Mullis taking the lead here. Now Codell's going to look under him. And if you're Shaffer, there's no harm, no foul here, even in finishing 3rd, outside of maybe a little pride of finishing in 3rd. You know, his points lead is still safe. If Codell wins here, I think he just needs to finish like 9th or better at that point. So there's, like I said, there's no harm in running in 3rd here tonight. He's run lap 70, 71, and 200. These laps are clicking away just right around 14.5 seconds apiece. Now coming into next season, you know, it's potentially going to have a different build on these cars, and you know, so the guys that are fast now, kind of like going into this season, guys that are fast now may not be fast next season. Someone may hit on it like Codell did or Mullis did, and you know, be fast. So it would be interesting to see how that build ends up playing out for these cars. And we'll probably get even more participation in this, as this is an invite-only series for the Sim Marketing Solutions Super Series. But if you do want to come out and race these super late models with the Sim Auto Racing Association, go to the Facebook page or go to racesara.com and sign up for our Davis Chassis Works Contender Series. If you do well enough in there, get you some wins, run in the top, you get invited into the Thursday night race. Be on the broadcast here tonight. If you're good enough there, we can talk to you before and after the race like we have with Shaffer, Codell, and Mullis week in and week out, as these guys have been running up front. So there's what. Go back here to Gareth Gonder, who made his way up to the front last night's Contender Series race, only to kind of step on himself there and spin late in the race. But he was going for the win, and tonight he's up here again, battling Medeiros and Edwards, and there's Jared Morris, who had a good run last night as well, coming in 2nd. You guys got a great battle going on for the top 7 or so.
Yeah, this here's the eye of the storm.
Yeah, if something's going to happen, it's going to be right here between these guys. As Medeiros is loose getting in. Going to check up the top side a little bit. Edwards is going to try to fight his way to get back down low. And Jared there in the 46 car is just trying to find a way, maybe around both these guys. He was extremely fast there last night. Just didn't have the track position to potentially come away with a win. You were in that split of his last night. Compared to how he's running tonight. Oh, as Medeiros gets in, and he is extremely loose. May have gotten a little bit of help from Edwards, is how that maybe snapped in there.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and honestly, there was unfortunately a lot of net code with that particular hit. There was 3 feet between the cars.
Well, that's what I thought I seen out of the corner of my eyes. I was looking down over to the lap times, and it was a good save there by Keith. Kudos for him for keeping in and pointing in the right direction. That did open up the door for David Krikorian to get under Boris here. These guys are battling for 10th place. Now Boris is he wrapped up one championship this week in the Sim Auto Racing Association Championship week on Monday night. And our dirt night for the midgets and UMP mods, he came away with the victory, capping off his championship, and for the overall dirt points championship, beating our producer here, Clay Snyder, by 6 points. And I came away with the championship in the midgets, he did in the UMP and then the overall. So kudos for him, he's come away with that. And on Tuesday night, in our Callaway Investment Sportsman Street Stock Series, Tim Beals won, but Joe Shaffer Jr. added his 3rd straight sportsman title, so he's racking up in the championship department. And last night, the dude from Medeiros won Sorensen, crowned as the contender champion. So congratulations to those guys for winning their championships, and the guys that won the races there this week for the championship week here at Sim Auto Racing Association. Got a long green flag run here. I think this is the highest I've ever seen the track tent as I've paid attention to it over about the past month or so. We've been racing. 102 degrees is quite warm around this joint. I don't think it ever got above 96 in mine last night. And it's just going to make conditions that much more challenging for these guys. Back up here with the leaders. There's not much that's changed up here. Let's go ahead and go run through the field as this has got a green flag run to it. We'll go through everyone and give them a shout out here. It's Jimmy Mullis is currently P1. Like I said, he's had a great season so far. He's had a few wins under his belt. Currently 3rd in point standings. Most likely it's going to finish, and he's last season's champion. So he had a good showing here once more this season. In the 1 car, that's Jim Codell Jr. Currently 2nd in points out of Whitesburg, Kentucky. And he's looking to come away with some more, another win under his belt as well. Most likely going to finish 2nd place in the points here. Great season. I'm sure he would take it, especially with the competition that's going on this year. 3rd place in the 6 car, Joe Shaffer, 3-time Super Late Model Series champion, trying to make it a 4th here tonight. So we're about halfway through, and we'll see if he can finish out the season on a high note, come away as your 2018 former season champion for the Sim Marketing Solutions Super Series. And 4th in a good battle here with Tyler Breeding is the 51 car, Ryan Matthews. Matthews is out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. He's had a pretty good season as well. He's found his way running up front and had some good qualifying runs, especially early in the season. The 25 car is Tyler Breeding. We were looking at him earlier when he was running around 9th and 10th. He's made his way up here to 5th. 6th is Garrett Gonder. He's making his way to the front. I was telling you this guy was fast here last night, and he had a great long run car. It looks like he has another one here once again in the 85 car. Gareth Gonder's there, and I don't have him on my sheet. I talked about his scheme there just a little bit, but he's out of London, Ontario. There we go. The 37 car, Tim Bills. This is the car I was talking about. It's a sharp-looking ride in his 1982 Tim Richmond J.D. Stacy Cup car. He's out of Sturgis, Kentucky. Running 7th. He's had a good season. Him and Will and Dillon Motorsports have caught fire here late in the season. And making his way here up towards the front. In 8th place is the 66 car, David Kikorian. DK is out of Los Angeles, California. Like I said, he's in his 2006 Rip Michaels Stock Building Supply NASCAR Southwest Series scheme. I think he needed added some more words into that to define his throwback scheme, but it looks good. But right behind him in the 46 is Jared Boris. We spoke about this one just a little bit earlier as well, as he's in the 1998 Tom Modine Tabasco car. I still think that's a sharp-looking ride myself. That one's probably going to be timeless. There's a few Cup schemes in here that are timeless, and I think that one's going to be one of them personally. In 10th place is Michael Goddard. Don't think he has a throwback. If it is, it's a throwback to his scheme from last week. Goddard's having a good run here. He's had a pretty good season. He's got caught up in some other people's incidents, but he's having a good run. He's out of Fort Myers, Florida. 76 car and P11 is Brandon Wilkinson. Don't have Wilkinson on my sheet here currently, but it looks like he has some throwback of some sorts in his red, white, and blue machine. Go back here to Trevor Edwards in a 32 car. He's in the Tide ride. Looks good there for him. That's in the 1990 Ricky Rudd's Tide scheme from the Cup Series. And just on the inside of him, Keith Medeiros in the 60 car. I think everybody knows this one. It's a Mark Martin Winn-Dixie Busch Series scheme. Mark Martin had a ton of success in that scheme, and Medeiros is trying to work his way up into the top 10 and to cap off a good week as he won last night in the Davis Chassis Works Contender Series. 21 car, Jason Tarasenko, sharp ride there in the 1985 Davey Allison, Lancaster Tobacco Monte Carlo in the Cup Series. Davey Allison had always had sharp rides. In the 10 car, I think this may be a personal favorite for everyone's as well, is Cameron Hamilton. That looks like it's a nil bonnet paint scheme potentially. It's not down here, but that's exactly what it resembles there to me. Cameron Hamilton running P15. He's had a good season as well, as he's started up front and ran up front in a lot of these races. P16 is the 13 car, Samuel Roush. He's in the 2005 Jeff Gordon Pepsi Star Wars Episode 3 Cup scheme. Whoever painted that did a fine job, and it looks like an absolute nightmare to paint. But it looks good, so kudos to them on whoever painted it. And 16th is probably the plainest car out here. That's in the 5 car. Matt Rolfe, we spoke to him earlier. He's in a 2001 Steve Park Pennzoil car, except he's got some Hyde Pride logo on there, where the Pennzoil car would go. 17th is Jared Wakefield. He's in the 05. Wakefield's in the 1995 Charlie, I don't know how you say last name, so excuse me, Charlie Geary, maybe, Geary, street stock out of Paradise Speedway in New York, which he's from Waterloo, New York. So that's a pretty cool looking ride there. That's a real throwback to his local track, it seems like. 18th is the 88 car of Matthew Eddy down in Midland, Michigan. That's his dad's paint scheme that he has on there is 1989 Mike Eddy Howroll Racing Enterprise ASA Buick Regal. That was his 5th championship that he had that season in the ASA series, and that's a pretty cool looking ride there. Needs to rock that a little bit more. It's a good looking scheme. 36 car, I think we all know what this car is. This is a Mark Royer. That's the old M&M's car from 2000-2001 Ken Schrader paint scheme. Then his Pontiac Super Late model. Mark Royer's out of Billerica, Massachusetts. Having a top 20 run here. 96 car, which it still looks like 98 to me. I'm not too sure how that's a 6. But 96 car of Justin Warner. He's in the Mopar car. Boy, he runs weekly. 79 car of Adam Joslin. That's a throwback Casey Kane paint scheme. Jocelyn's out of South Paris, Maine. He got caught up in that accident earlier that we seen. So he had a little tough luck there, currently running 22nd. Got some guys that are on pit road. We'll go ahead and show Donald Clark's car because that's a good looking car. If you don't like that car, you don't like America. But that's in the 18 car, 1989 Alan Kowicki Cub scheme. That's one of those timeless paint schemes as well that's just never grows old and it looks good no matter what it's on. 26 is Russell Brown Jr. Like I said, he's on pit road. All right, we'll give him some love here. He's in the 1989 Rob Moroso paint scheme. So it's plain, but it looks good. 27th, he's on pit road as well, and he ran well last night coming away with the win in the Contender Series is Justin Ledoux. And he is in the Bobby Allison paint scheme. So that's the throwbacks going through them. Let's see anyone else on pit road. Bill Martin's in his ride. His ride looked good. He was in the Family TV paint scheme. He done a lot of these paint schemes out here for these guys as well. So big kudos to Bill Martin for doing that for these guys. So we can have we can go, as we're going back up to the leader, Mullis is in lap traffic with Jim Codell Jr., but just to finish my statement, he's getting side by side. I'll finish that here in a second. Next to the 96, and Warner as they hit. Oh, now great save by Warner, but it's getting Mullis all crossed up, and Codell's just trying to find a way off through this. He's coming upon lap down traffic, and this is what's going to get tricky here for him. When it comes down to these lap down cars, obviously everyone's going to be bottom feed. You got to find a way around them. You're going to let Codell catch up, or maybe even let Gareth Gonder catch up, as he's about a tenth faster than the field.
Oh, I'm telling you, if the 85 gets something, if there's a caution, I believe Gareth Gonder has got something tonight.
He had something last night as well. Like I said, he made a mistake and spun out as he was trying to get around Keith in the 60 car. He made some adjustments, knowing that what he learned last night, and that's the point of the Contender Series, is you learn from there and you can come in here and maybe make some headway like he's doing here tonight. And he's up to P4.
Exactly, he started 22nd tonight.
Yeah, and we were talking about how hard it is to pass, but he's proven that wrong currently, as he's currently just a tick faster than our leaders. Like you said, if we get a caution, it's around lap 130 of 200, so still a long way to go. If we get a caution, he's going to be right there in the game. See the 17 car. I don't think I spoke on AJ Rogers. Somehow skipped over him, but he's in the Western Auto Chevrolet. It's Darrell Waltrip throwback. Now he's coming up on Mullis is coming up on Jocelyn and Roush here, and Matt Eddy. These guys are running side by side. When you finally do catch those guys, there's almost nothing you can do but ride, and hopefully one of them figures it out so you can get around them.
Yeah, I think all those guys in front of him are racing for position, so should be interesting once Jimmy catches them.
Yeah, Roush and Eddy are definitely racing for 17th place. And, some people may think, wow, it's just 17th place. Hey, there's a lot of pride that goes in, especially into this group of guys, as you very well know. You battle for every position that you got and that you can get because, like I said, these are the best of the best. And even though you may be trying to battle in for a top 15 spot, you can go anywhere else and you can win races all day. So it's pretty tough. As you see, Roush is going to move up just a little bit. And if you're Mullis, it's exactly what you want to see. So we're still green here. We've had a long green flag run. Fatigue may be setting in for some of these drivers as Mullis is getting around here pretty good.
Gonder passes Shaffer for third.
Yep. Garrett Gonder just passed Joe Shaffer Jr. If you're Joe Shaffer Jr., you're going to let him go. You see him getting big in your rear. Let him go. As we have a caution there on the front. I don't know who that was just flying by. It was Tyler Breeding. Tough break for him as he made his way up towards the top of the field there. He was running about the top 6 or 7. He's facing the wrong direction. Go back and watch him on the replay on the SARA TV instant replay to see what happened. Looks like him and Jared already got into it. We catch into it just a little bit too late. And him and Jared Boris got into it. Looked like Horse was all over the rear end of him there early. Go back and watch it here once more on a little sidebar. These two guys were battling hard. Oh, Jared just gets up to his door and turns him there just a little bit and loops him around. So tough break for Breeding and tough break for Jared Boers. Both of them are running up towards the top 10. So Ty now, first caution we've had in a while. And it's on Jimmy Mullis to, bring these guys back to green, as it was only our third caution. We've only had 2 lean changes. So on this restart here, if you're Jimmy Mullis, what exactly are you trying to accomplish?
Well, you certainly don't want to spin the tires. That's first and foremost in this build. It's really, really easy to do. If you're up front and you spin the tires, you're going to stack everyone up behind you. You may have your 4th caution real quick.
Well, last night we seen that cautions kind of bred cautions towards the end of that race, and the same thing, like you stated, can happen here. Now, Gareth, who's made his way up here to 3rd, he's going to be starting on the inside. Where you see, if you're paying attention to the track temperature, it's already cooled down 5 degrees just under this caution. So the bottom's going to have a little bit more grip in it, and that's where he's been eating everyone up. So we're going to have a new player in this game, and Mullis and Codell are going to have their hands full with this 85 car. Got 1 to go here. Like I said, it's going to be on Mullis. We'll see what Codell's able to do. See if Shaffer's able to do anything under his caution. Maybe he's saving just a little bit, or he may not be. He's just out here cruising around and making sure he stays out of trouble so he can walk away with the 4th championship. The restart's on Jimmy Mullis. Oh, we got a delayed green. Not sure if we had someone stopped or if that was admin thrown.
I believe it's admin thrown. I think that we're not quite lined up right.
We'll try this once more. It's on Jimmy Mullis, whose pace car goes off, and we are green, green, green. Codell gets off to a great start. Gonder doesn't get off to a bad start either. Mullis and Codell are side by side. I can tell you right now, Gonder he's an aggressive driver. He's clean, but he is not afraid to show you the nose at any point in time. And knowing how prestigious these wins are in the Sim Auto Racing Association, these super late models, when you get your chance to pounce and potentially get a win, especially with these big 3 guys that have been winning pretty much all the races, you're going to go up there and try to get yours. And just behind them, they're 3 wide there with Tim Bills, David Kokoria, and Michael Goddard. They got that squared away as they're back to single file, as Codell is still on the outside of Jimmy Mullis. Now, Ty, if you're Gareth, then what do you do here? Is now the time to go, as we're almost coming down to 50 to go, or do you just let these guys try to figure it out, or you just what do you do?
I think you do like he's doing. You stay on the bottom, and hopefully you and Jimmy, Gareth and Jimmy, pass Codell on the inside, and then settle it between themselves.
Well, he's shown that he can run the outside with the best of them here, especially this season. And he's hanging tough here on the outside. Track temperature got all the way down to about 93 degrees. And it's up to 95 currently, so it's working its way back up there. So it's pretty surprising to see Codell hang on the outside like this. It's pretty loose coming out of 4, so you can tell he's letting it eat, trying to stay up there as much as he can. But I think Mullis is going to have him cleared coming out of 2. And he does. Now, if you're Gareth in the 85 car, you got to get going because you do not want Mullis to get away. It's already hard enough to pass. And I think Gareth is starting to figure out that even though he's up here, these guys are extremely hard to pass, and you're within a different level of guys than where he started this race. You see him all the way down on the apron. That's the line I love to take here as he gets into the back of Codell just a little bit. Codell's going to move up.
I'm telling you, I think he's faster than both of them.
I don't disagree with you. He caught me last night. It caught me by surprise. Codell's right on the rear end of him here. Oh, and he hits him. Gets him moved up just a little bit. So Codell obviously took exception to Gareth getting into him there a couple laps prior. Gareth had a great save. Ron Matthews is up to P4. Shaffer's back to P5. Shaffer's going the wrong direction. He's still safe as far as his points go. He's definitely going the wrong way. Now we're able to see if the 85 car, Gareth Gonder, is able to catch the 40 of Jimmy Mullis. Like I said, it's been a Mullis, Codell, and Shaffer show all year long for the most part. And now we got a new guy up here. Ryan Matthews wants to come up here and play as well. So this last race of the season, you know, some guys are starting to get some things figured out with these cars. And we got a new player in the game. You know, Tim Bills is getting under Joe Shaffer Jr. there. Tim Bills is up to P5. DK, his teammate, coming right there behind him. So here comes the Will and Dillon guys. And this is what they've done here in the past few weeks as well. It's come on strong, extremely late in the runs. Gareth just a tick faster than Mullis, and he's all over the rear end of Jimmy Mullis. I think we got another few laps. We're going to have a new leader. There he goes down in the apron. I mean, there can be something there. It's pretty tough the way he just did it, but if you can do it from about right there and then off, there can be some time had if you can get your car working down there. I mean, he is really good from entry to center. That's where he's eating my lunch. Joe Shaffer Jr. back to 17th. He's going to pull it down pit road here. Something's going on with Joe Shaffer Jr. I think he still might be okay, but he can lose some. He can lose up to about 4 or 5 more positions as far as how the standings go right now. Not too sure how that's going to shake up the points. He still might be okay because I believe Codell still got to win to close that gap. Not 100% sure, but no, there goes Gareth. He got into to Jimmy Mullis. Going to have a new leader as he go down into 3. Move Mullis. We'll see what Mullis does with him here. Oh, Mullis gets into the back end of Gareth. He's going to move him up the track just a little bit. Don't think it's going to be enough. I think this 85 car is going to get away from these guys. We'll see if Mullis is able to fight him back. As he's hanging right there with him. Big news is the point leader is off the track currently. The guy's second in points is third. And we have a new leader in the 85 car, Gareth Gonder, who's trying to get away, put his name in the books. And there's Codell getting around Jimmy Mullis. Codell gets around Mullis there fairly easy. Now he's up to P2, working that high side. We'll see if he has anything for Gareth Gonder. Matthews is inching his way closer here to the leaders as well, as he was actually the fastest car on the racetrack last lap. That's how you've won some races here with us and won some big races as well. You got Gareth up here who is making his way into this series and doesn't run here on Thursday nights too often. What's his mindset currently as he's leading the race here in the finale for the Hides Pride Championship 200?
If I was him, I would turn my mirror off.
Well, that can be the devil's advocate is that rear view mirror, and it looks like he's not paying attention to it as he just ran a 14.5, and he was the only one in the 5.0s. Everyone else is in the 6s besides Mullis and Matthews. David Kokorian's there dipping into the 5. Tick slower there that time, but he's up to about 0.4 of a second on his lead on lap 173, coming down to the last 25 laps of this race. As Bills and Michael Goddard have been side by side here for a few laps, having a great battle for P5. These guys are going back and forth. Bills in the 37, Goddard in the 38. These guys are extremely close. They're testing the limits of these crash boxes and stuff like that, but messing around, not worried about net code. Apparently is extremely close coming out of 2 there once more. Goddard's going to get the better end of that one. Not missing anything up front as Gonder's still up about 0.4 of a second. Joe Shaffer Jr. is 13 laps down here now, so he's went ahead and parked it. He's P22, and like I said, I'm not too sure what it does for the points. I think he's still safer. He'd still be out there, unless he blew it up. You know, if he confirm anything on that tie as far as what's going on with Joe.
Yeah, I can check.
All right, thank you. As Garrett Gonder's now pulled away to about a half-second lead, so he's been about half a tenth or so faster than Codell and Mullis. Matthews has slowed down here a little bit. Whatever he was doing when he was running those low 5s, he needs to go back and do that, so his spotter needs to start yelling at him. And now he's in the 7, so he's definitely needs to go back. But Gonder's leading the way here, lap 180 of 200.
Yeah, I think just got confirmation from Joe Shaffer. He said that the car was not exactly handling to his liking and really wasn't having that much fun, so he parked it. I think he felt like he was pretty safe with the points.
All right, well, there you have it. Joe Shaffer Jr. is cracking open a beer early, celebrating. He better be right. He better hope his math skills are proper. Because if they're not, someone may want to go and watch Joe Shaffer Jr. through the night. You got Gonder coming around here. He's slowly but surely pulling away from Codell. He's going to come up to Samuel Roush, lap down traffic. After Roush pretty much got clear selling for a little bit. Not have to worry about lap down traffic too much. After that, he may not even come into him at all. So it's exactly what you want to see if you're Gonder. Once you get past the 13 car here just in front of him, Roush in his rollback Jeff Gordon scheme, it's clear selling. And he can just go out here and make some practice laps as all he's doing.
Yeah, I really like what Garrett did there. I mean, with Mullis and Jim, I mean, he roughed them up a little bit to get by them, but he didn't wreck them and was able to take the lead. And unfortunately, with this car and this track being so tight, you've almost got to do that to be able to pull off a pass. So kudos to him. Well,
you know, he definitely got it in return as well. So those guys trying to get back to his rear bumper and wasn't able to do anything with him. So he knew what he had to do. He made it work. In short track racing, you're going to have a little bumping and banging here and there, and he made it work out to his advantage. Coming up on Samuel Roush. Roush is going to stay up high. And like I said, Gonder was definitely super fast last night. He was eating my lunch and then some on the entry in the center. And then he just slowly started creeping away from me. And he set his sights on Ryan Doucette and Keith Medeiros there. Like I said, he had a small incident late. He's capitalizing on his mistakes here from last night and learn from them as he's leading the way here in the HadsPride.com Championship 200. Down to lap 190 of 200. Car looks good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of forward drive off the corner. I'm extremely impressed with whatever setup he's put under that car is outstanding.
He's got to put together 10 more laps. Hopefully the late race caution does not come out there, and so he doesn't have to worry about a restart or anyone getting into him, because Lord knows if there is a restart, then one of those guys may get into him knowing what he did to get around him. But the field's pretty spread out as we're coming down to 9, almost 8 to go. Like I stated, I don't think he's going to catch these lap down cars. You got Mark Royer and Tyler Breeding there just in front of him. And I don't think he's going to catch those guys. Michael Goddard's had a really good run here as well. He's worked his way up to 4th. We got some fairly new faces running up here in the top 5, which is great to see. That's the point of the Wednesday night series. Goddard runs in the Wednesday night series, so does Gonder. And same way with Medeiros, he's in 7th. And so, you got some guys that take advantage of those extra laps, which is what it's meant for, and come over here on Thursday night and run well. So that's, they got to feel really good about that.
Yeah, Gareth has come over and checked out.
Yeah, he's up to 1.4 now, second lead over Jim Codell, and he's showing clearly that he was the fastest car here tonight. Like Ty said, he believe he started in P22. Yes, he did. Started 22nd here tonight, so towards the tail end of the field, and up here to P1. Leading some laps, having a great race here tonight, trying to come away. He's already led 33 laps here. It's all said and done, he's going to be leading 36 laps, and it's going to be the proper 36 laps as it's at the tail end of the race, trying to come away with this first career Sim Auto Racing Association Sim Marketing Solutions victory. We're at 2 to go, final lap. We're on the final lap here. Gonder's backed it down just a little bit, knowing that he has plenty of room here behind him. Coming out of turn 4, your winner here tonight, Gareth Gonder in the 85 car. Jim Codell Jr. will finish second, and Jimmy Mullis will finish third. So congratulations to Gareth Gonder, putting on one hell of a performance, giving just a little bit of love tap to Mullis and Codell to get around them to take the lead. Didn't look back to come away with this first victory here tonight. Michael Goddard coming away with an impressive 4th place finish. Ryan Matthews would round out your top 5. Goddard still making laps just to make sure the race is over. Go out here and do some celebratory donuts. Celebratory. No P in that. See if Shaffer comes out here. Yep, he's out on the track as well. He's going to come out here and maybe pull him off a Polish victory lap. But he's going to wait for Gareth to get his celebrating done in victory lane. So congratulations to Gareth Gonder coming away with the victory here tonight for the HeidsPride.com Championship 200. It's in throwback night. And if I'm not mistaken, Joe Shaffer Jr. did come away with the points victory. If I can get some clarification on that just real quick. So Ty, we've seen some great racing here tonight, actually. Good side-by-side racing. And like I said, we've seen Gareth come from the back to the front, which is probably one of the more impressive things I've seen all season.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Him being able to, gritting 22nd. I'm sure he wasn't happy with his qualifying effort, but man, being able to really have the forward drive like he had tonight and be able to make passes on the bottom, it's very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try to get a word with our top 3 here, and we'll definitely get a word with our champion as well. We'll let them get out of the cars and get settled there. We'll go ahead and bring up the results, and we're still getting clarification on the points, so we'll go ahead and bring up the results for tonight's race and go through that. Let the drivers get out. Like I said, come away with his big win here tonight, Gareth Gonder. Second place was Jim Codell. Third place was Jimmy Mullis. Fourth with a great finish was Michael Goddard. Fifth was Ryan Matthews. Sixth was DK, David Kokorian in the 66 car. Oh, there you go. Seventh was Keith Medeiros. Eighth was Tim Bills. Ninth was Brandon Wilkinson. And a quiet top 10 was there Matt Rolfe. And 11th was Cameron Hamilton. 12th was Jason Tarasenko. 13th was Jared Boris. 14th, Jared Wakefield. 15th, Matthew Eddy. 16th, Samuel Roush. 17th, Adam Joslin. 18th, AJ Rogers. 19th, Justin Warner. 20th, Tyler Breeding. 21st was Mark Royer. 22nd was Joe Shaffer. 23rd is Trevor Edwards. 24th, Brian Helm. Just behind him in 25th was Donald Clark. 26th was Russell Brown. 27th was the 27 car, Justin LeDuc. 28th was Bill Martin. 29th was Tyler Brown. Now, I will say that we did have the Hides Pride head-to-head throwdown tonight, and there was extra money tonight. We didn't get to speak on it because of the time constraints early on, but there was extra money here tonight for the Hides Pride sponsored event, and it was row 12 is what that row was, and that was Wakefield and Warner, and Wakefield's going to come away with that one. So congratulations to him as he finished 14th here tonight, and Warner finished 19th. So congratulations to Jared Wakefield coming away with a little extra coin in his pocket for finishing higher than Justin Warner. Like I said, be sure to go out and check out Hides Pride Leather and Sheepskin. They've been a huge supporter of Sim Auto Racing Association, and they do a lot of things here for us. But I think we have some guys here that we can pull down. We'll go ahead and pull down Jim Codell. We'll go ahead and get a word with him. Jim, thanks for joining us here, bud. You came away second place here tonight, just behind Gareth Gonder. Joe went off there late, knowing that he pretty much had the championship wrapped up. What were you missing here tonight to get past Gareth, or maybe not let Gareth get around you? And what more could you have done?
Well, really, I thought the car was really good. It handled just the way that I expected it to. We just must have lacked just a little bit of grip. They got onto something. They must have, because it was pretty much we'd ran a little bit different. I took a little bit of a swing, but I felt like I hit it. So hats off to Gareth, man. He had an awesome car. It was a great drive to the front. I mean, you can't knock him for that. So we just had to. It was going to be a tall task. I mean, to try and qualify, first and then lead most of the laps. It's tough to do in this league. So, really, all in all, you can't be disappointed with this season.
Yeah, you had a great season, here in the summer season. So that leads me to this question. Next season is going to be potentially another new build. A, are you coming back next season? And B, do you think you can follow up what you did this season?
I'll absolutely be back. Look forward to running again this season. The competition's fun, or next season, and with the build changing, it's hard to say. I felt like that we hit it pretty good on two different builds this season. So it took us a little while to get going on that first one. We hadn't ran on it in a couple years, so. I feel pretty good about it. I know I've got good teammates and some pretty sharp guys working on the setups. So I think we can figure it out if it changes quite a bit. Really enjoyed racing this car, man. I mean, it's probably nothing like what a actual super late model is. It's pretty skatey, pretty overpowered. But man, it was fun to drive. I kind of miss that.
Well, you put on a hell of a show this season. Like I said, you had 4 wins and just come up just short in the championship. But finishing P2 is obviously awesome to do. And behind Joe Shaffer at that, that guy's Mr. Super Late Model, it seems like, in this series. So he does extremely well in those. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. So congratulations once again on finishing second here tonight and second in the points. And definitely look forward to seeing you next season. And before we get you on your way and give you a little break, is there any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I want to thank my mom, my wife, my sister, my boss Chris, everybody at SARA, Matt, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. And one last thanks to everybody at the association. Our cars had won at least one of the contender or the Super Series races every week since Phoenix. Tonight broke that streak, but had a second and a third, so it's nothing to scoff at. And they knew we were here the last 7 weeks, so it was really fun. And look forward to doing it again next season.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you and your team, bud, and we'll catch you next season and talk to you then.
All right, and I want to say congrats to Joe on his championship. He had an amazing season, so I look forward to seeing everybody next season in a couple weeks.
All right, bud. That's Jim Codell Jr. Like I said, finished second here tonight, second in the point series, so congratulations to him. We'll go ahead and bring in Jimmy Mullis. Speak with him. He had he came away in third place here tonight, had a couple of wins on the season as well. He was last season's champion. He comes away third in points here this season. Jimmy, you finished third here tonight. We just got on speaking with Jim. What were you lacking here tonight, maybe to go for that win? And is there anything else you think you could have done to potentially finish a little bit better than what you did?
No, I don't think I could have really done any better. I mean, the car was phenomenal. You saw that when we were able to get up to the lead, and Jim was right behind me, and Gareth and those guys, they just, they hit on it this week, and they were just a little bit better, and that's what they needed. So, congrats to those guys. They did a hell of a job, and but no, I don't really think we missed anything. If anything, though, maybe some drive off there at the end. My toe got knocked out from a lapped car that was racing me super hard for whatever reason. But it is what it is. Glad to finish the season off on a high note, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're running pretty much top three here week in and week out, at least over the past month. We're going into next season, and I asked Jim this, and I asked you this as well. Potentially going to have a new build next season. So is there anything that you think you can carry over from this to next season as far as maybe even setup or even momentum?
Hopefully momentum, but setup-wise, I have no idea. We won't know that till the car comes out. But, like I heard Jim saying in his interview, this car was a blast to drive. Our cars were set up good, so that helped it. But, even at the beginning of the build when I was off a little bit, it was still fun to drive. So, like he said, I'm probably going to miss it a little bit too. It's fun having an egg under the throttle and having to, keep your tires on it. But, we'll see what comes in this new build, and hopefully we can come back just as strong and keep fighting for wins and hopefully close out with a championship next season.
We'll definitely see what happens there for you next season. And, congratulations once again for finishing third here tonight. Finished third in the points. And good luck to you next season. Before we get you on your way, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give to anyone?
Yeah, of course. Like I said in the pre-race, the guys at the association, since I've joined them, we've put in a lot of work, and we've been real fast, and it showed. So I can't thank them enough for giving me the opportunity to work with them. It's a really fun group of guys, even outside of the sim stuff. We just very fun to hang around. Also got to give a thanks to JD Laird for the paint schemes as usual, always making me look good. Racing Virginia, you guys for the broadcast, Matt for doing all he does with the league, and also thanks to Joe and everybody else in the field for racing clean. It was really fun the entire season. So also congrats to Joe on the championship.
All right, bud. Well, like I say, congratulations to you and all your success this year, and good luck to you next season.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. It's Jimmy Mullis, last year's season champion. This year coming up just a little bit short in third place. So good luck to him there next season. But we'll go ahead and bring in tonight's winner for the HadsPride.com Championship 200, and Gareth Gonder. Gareth, congratulations on the win here tonight. You started 22nd here tonight and made your way up to P1. What was the key to your victory here tonight?
Honestly, I don't even know. I just tried to keep the tires under me all race long, and it felt good. I raced last night and I finished second, and I knew I had something tonight, but after qualifying 22nd, I was just hoping for a lead lap finish.
Well, you did more than that. You led the last 36 laps of the race and pulled away from, arguably the fastest guy all season, and Jim Codell Jr. and Jimmy Mullis, and, come away with a huge win here tonight. So congratulations on that. And like you said, last night in the Davis Chassis Works Contender Series, you were fast as hell there too. You got around me no problem there about halfway through and made your way up there. And like I said, finished second. So is there anything that you learned from last night that you carried over to tonight? Did you make any adjustments on the car from last night to tonight?
Yeah, I tightened it up just a tick, just to keep it from spinning the tires so much off the corner. But honestly, I got to thank Bill Martin. He hasn't been building my setups all season, but I've been asking him little tips and tidbits here and there to how to get this car to work, because I do this stuff on weekends for a late model driver up here in Canada, but applying it to this thing has been a little bit different. So it's been a battle all season long.
Well, like I said, you put on a hell of a show. You worked your way all the way up there into the lead, and came away with a huge win here tonight. Is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give to anyone for all the help and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I got to thank Bill Martin, like I said, and all the sponsors on the car, London Recreational, Saba Falls Tent Trailer Park. They help our real race team out big time. So anytime we can give them a shout out, we'll definitely do that.
Absolutely. Well, like I say, congratulations here once again. Hope to see more of you next season, especially here on the Thursday night. And and if you do come back there next season, good luck to you then, bud.
Yeah, thank you, and I'm hoping I can make it back. I really appreciate it. It was awesome racing all season, and Matt Rolfe, great job as always, and running an awesome league. Thanks.
I don't know. Thank you, and like I said, congratulations. That's Gareth Gonder, tonight's winner here tonight at Lanier Speedway at the HeinzPride.com Championship 200. So Ty, like you stated, he learned a little bit from last night, carried it over here tonight, and whooped some ass. And like I said, he made from 22nd up to a win. I mean, that's like I said, that's probably the takeaway from this season. Is that's been the most impressive thing.
There's no doubt about it. Very impressive.
We'll go ahead and bring in. Well, as he just leaves now, I was going to say we go ahead and bring in our championship guy who came away. He won here, or P1 in the championship. Finished 22nd. We went ahead and parked. We got Joe Shaffer Jr., former 3-time, now 4-time Super Late Model Series champ for the Sim Marketing Solution.
Oh, sorry.
And Matt Rolfe keeps poking his head in and out here of the booth. But congratulations, Joe, coming away with another championship here. The car apparently wasn't to your liking here tonight, but you come away with the 4th championship. Give us some of your thoughts.
Well, first of all, to hell with the championship. Did you see what Gareth did tonight? Wow, I was thoroughly impressed. He went me, and after that, I was like, well, shit, I can't chase him down, and there's no way I'm gonna get around him, even if I did catch him. So, congrats to him, man. I think that's his first race in the Super Series, or his first win in the Super Series. So, that's always exciting. What can I say about the rest of the season, though? We started out really strong. We didn't catch on to the new build as good as Codell and Jimmy Mullis, so kind of one of those things where I just had to do everything I could to keep myself in it. Finishing. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, I mean, you did just that. I mean, if it was, if Codell won or Mullis won, I mean, you're right there behind them, right? So you're on damage control pretty much all year. I mean, you had one victory here this season. Like I said, you got that done a little bit early on at Irwindale Speedway. You came away with the win there. But you had 9 top 5s in 9 counted races this season. So like I said, you did exactly what you did. That was 1 more than Jim Codell, and that was 3 more than Jimmy Mullis. So that was the difference there. And like I said, you were on damage control all season, even though the car wasn't that much to your liking.
Yeah, I'm a super competitive guy, so not having it exactly how I wanted it, or what we're as a team, how we're used to running, was tough and frustrating, and you saw some of that and heard some of that, in my post-race discussions throughout the season. I'll say one thing: I'd never raced as hard, finished 3rd or 4th in these last 5-6 weeks than I ever have. So, congrats to Jimmy and Jim. I mean, they pretty much traded wins for the second half of the season, and we were just lucky enough to start really strong, and that's what it took.
Well, like I said, you come away with your 4th championship here, and we're going into a new season. We'll have a few weeks off here, potentially a new build as well. But it's no matter the build, it seems like you're running up front. So you've definitely got these cars figured out, and you won also a championship in the street stocks as well. So congratulations on that. You got 2 championships here this week in the SARA Championship week. So congratulations on that. So is there any shout outs or things you'd like to give there for your success this season?
Yeah, I gotta thank Posse for all the help this season. Guys like Spearman, Majeski, Bill Martin. It's sim racing is one of those things you can't do alone, especially if you have a full job. So I couldn't do it without them, and I want to thank Cody of Loco Toco Designs, Charlie at the Button Box Shop, and Left Hander Chassis, and as always, you guys for the broadcast, and Matt Rolfe for putting this all together.
Well, hey, without you guys, we can't do what we do as far as the broadcast goes. So you'll put on a heck of a show week in and week out. And like I said, congratulations to you once again on your 22nd place finish here tonight. But for your 4th overall Super Late Model Sim Marketing Solutions Series Championship.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, bud. That's Joe Shaffer Jr. Like I said, he's Mr. 4-time in these super late models. So, he's getting it done one way or the other, no matter what the build is. And those posse guys will probably come back strong there next season as well and be the ones to look out for. Let's go ahead and bring in our league admin. We'll get some things wrapped up here tonight for this championship week and championship night here at the Sim Auto Racing Association. Matt, thanks for joining me here tonight. You had a decent run in 10th place. Coming away with the top 10. It's quiet top 10. Didn't talk about you much here tonight because wasn't much going on, it seemed like. But he's kind of talking with the guys who finished in 1, 2, 3 in points, and obviously probably the race drive of the year so far. And Gareth Gonder coming away with his first win on the Thursday Night League.
Yeah, hell of a run there for Gareth. I know we've talked about, or you've talked about all season, about the Contender Series, how we try to get guys to sign up. They can come out and run on Wednesdays, and if they run good enough, they can come out here on Thursdays and run with the big guys. And Gareth is a perfect example of that. He signed up at the beginning of the season. He ran with us before, but never really had a ton of speed that I could personally remember. So we put him in the Contender Series, and he put in a hell of a season. Finished top 5 almost every week. Finished 3rd in points, and then he came out here tonight, and you saw what he could do when he had a good car. He could compete with the best of them and drove to the front. I was very surprised, or not surprised that he did it, but just surprised to see him there at the end. I hadn't seen him for a while. I said, oh, maybe something happened to him. I don't know where he went. And at the end of the race, I looked up and he was P1 in the standings. So hell of a race for him, and that just goes to show what the Contender Series can do for these guys.
Absolutely. That's what it's there for. And like I stated earlier in the cast, and I'll say it now, you can go to racesara.com to sign up, or go to the Facebook page at Sim Auto Racing Association, and you can sign up there and check it out. Like I say, come out there. You can maybe be the next Gareth Gonder. Work your way up on Wednesday nights and come over on Thursday nights and show everyone how to get it done. But we'll stick here on to Thursday night. Joe Shaffer comes away with his 4th Sim Super Late Model Series Championship, but only by 7 points over Jim Codell, so it was super close. Going into next season, are we going to see any kind of schedule changes, or when does all that start back up so everyone can join us back then and know when this whole thing kicks back off?
Yeah, so first of all, congrats to Joe on winning another championship. That's what he does here at SARA. I think that was officially his 10th one. He'll say it's his 11th, but we'll give a number 10 on that one. 4th here in the Supers, so obviously he knows what he's doing in these cars. Finishes top 3, top 5 weekly, if not up there for the win. So congrats to him on another championship. Hell of a season for him and the other 2 guys he's battling with. But yeah, we're going to take a couple weeks off here for the season. We do have one more special event next week that I think you guys are going to be broadcasting as well. The Sim Marketing Solutions All-Star Clash, kind of a special event for all of our divisions. And then we'll take a couple weeks off after that. I'll probably come back in about a month. I forget what the opening date is that I have scheduled. But yeah, we'll look at some different tracks, some schedule changes, and we'll get right back at it in here in about a month or so. But it'll be nice for a couple weeks off right here.
Yeah, absolutely. You do a lot for this series and getting all this stuff together. So we appreciate it. And you probably hear the guys on the broadcast as well for the drivers we interview. They always appreciate what you do as well. Now we've had some new sponsors that came on board, this season, and obviously there's a lot that they do for us as well. So we have the Sim Marketing Solutions that that does a lot of things here for us. Can you talk a little bit about our partners and maybe what to expect for next season?
Yeah, so if it wasn't for our partners, we wouldn't be doing all of this, or at least not on as big of a scale. Hopefully we'd still be racing if we didn't have them, but it goes a long way what they do for us. We're able to put on these broadcasts on Thursday nights. We're able to do some payouts at the end of the season, and it's all because of the sponsors. They put some money towards this to get their name out there, and it goes all right back into the league. It all goes back to the drivers. It goes back to the broadcast. So it's really appreciated. I know every week we talk about them, and they're on our website. We tag them as much as possible, all that kind of stuff. Try to get them as much exposure as possible. And like I said, I know you talk about them quite a bit here, so I'll just go over, obviously, tonight's big one. Sim Marketing Solutions stepped up in a big way this season. I really appreciate Todd, what he's done for the series. He's sponsoring next week's Clash that we're doing as well, and we're already in talks of doing stuff for next season, so that's great there. And as we talked earlier, Mark Royer, Craig Pearson, and High's Pride, They've been a big supporter of ours for the last couple seasons now. Couldn't do a lot of what we've done without them as well, because they've been a big help. And just all the other supporting sponsors, there's a lot of them, so I'm not going to list them all here, but I definitely appreciate them. We can't be doing this without them, so it goes a long way.
Absolutely. So, thanks to those guys. We'll give them a shout out here towards the very, very end of the broadcast, like we always do, because like you stated, without them, we could not do this. So, like I said, that wraps up pretty much championship week here at the Sim Auto Racing Association. Next week is the All-Star Clash, where we'll have the Sim Marketing Solutions All-Star Clash at Irwindale Speedway for 150 laps. You'll have a mix of cars out there between the super late models, the sportsman cars, and you'll have the modifieds. Yep, tour mods. That'll be out there. And then we have the dirt clash as well. So we'll have some dirt cars in between the UMP mods, the midgets, and some non-wing and pro late model cars all out on the track at once. So be sure to come out and check that out. Now, before I do any closing remarks, Matt, do you have anything left you want to say? Give a shout out, anything?
I just got to thank all the drivers that come out here and race with us weekly, especially here in the super late models. As it's been documented, we kind of know this current car isn't what we all would like. That's the nice way to put it. There's other ways to put it as well, like Ty has said in the past. But, these guys come out every week. They put a lot of effort into not only just these races, but they put a lot of testing in. They run on our other nights as well, putting a bunch of laps in, racing in our other series. So big thanks to all the drivers. Doesn't matter if you're running first or last. It goes a long way to help this league become what it is. And as always, thank the sponsors, and thanks to you guys this season for broadcasting. I know Derek, you'd probably rather be out here racing with us. And Clay, I know you're taking your time out of what you're doing as well, so I appreciate you guys coming out on Thursday nights and broadcasting. And I know Ty's made a couple appearances here, and he's been a big help on Wednesdays. So just a lot of thanks all around. I know people give me a lot of credit for doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, which I appreciate, but there's a lot of help as well. So I just got to thank everybody. And yeah, we'll take a couple weeks off here, and we'll be back at it in a month or so and do it all over again.
I look forward to it. So congratulations on a great season, and we'll be talking to you here next few weeks.
All right, thanks.
All right, that's our fearless leader, Matt Rolfe. And like you said, Ty, we appreciate everything that you did. I appreciate you coming up in the booth here with me a few times. You're more than welcome to do it, but I have a feeling next season you're going to be pretty heavy here in the super late models.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the next build should be a lot better and to everybody's liking. At least we can hope so. And I'm pretty thrilled too. I just looked at the points. Hey, I finished 10th.
Well, there you go. You got a top 10. You even had a win this season. As much as you despise the current build, you had one win this season early on. So I'll give you a congratulations on that. And this is meaning no disrespect, but hopefully I do not have you up in the booth next season. Hopefully you're battling out maybe for a championship next season with us here in the Sim Marketing Solutions Super Series. And like I said, once again, thanks for joining me up here in the booth, and thanks for adminning there on Wednesday night. So it's a big help, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this goes for anyone that's listening or has aspirations of really running well, especially in, like, if say you're an official series and you like the official series super late models. Listen, if you want to get better and you want to start winning races over on the official side, sign up for SARA. The reason I say that, it doesn't matter if you do finish 22nd. The competition is so unbelievably tough in this series that I can promise you that you can take what you learned from the SARA series into the official series and run up front. I have no doubts about that. This is the best short track series ever on iRacing.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with that. And like I've stated before, there's a couple places you can go sign up for that. Just fire up the old Google machine, go to racesara.com, and you can find out all the information you need to do that. So, Ty, thanks again for joining me up here, and good luck for next season there for you, bud.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That's pretty much going to do it for us. Let's go ahead and bring up the SARA partners. We'll give everyone a nice little shout out here to end the season. We got the Sim Marketing Solutions. Like I said, they sponsored tonight's Thursday night Super Late Model Series action that you see here. And basically what they do is they introduce real-world sponsors as sim racers, and they work with them to ensure that they receive maximum benefit for their exposure to the sim racing community. So definitely go check those guys out. Like I said, they do a lot for this league, and they just do a lot, period, for the sim world. You got the Davis Chassis Works, who sponsors our Wednesday night super late model league, and thanks to those guys for what they did. They've helped out a lot of guys find some speed so they can challenge some guys here tonight on Thursday and just feel overall a little bit better about themselves. Got Hides Pride Leather and Sheepskin. Like I said, they've sponsored all year long in the Thursday night Sim Marketing Solutions Super Series for the Hides Pride head-to-head throwdown. So thanks to those guys for doing that, and they sponsored the race here tonight. And like Matt stated earlier in the broadcast, in case you missed it, basically Hides Pride's a family-owned leather and sheepskin business located in Vermont. And they do anything from jackets to boots to briefcases, belts, anything that deals with leather. So go ahead and give them a follow or like there on Facebook. They got some super high quality stuff. Got Midwest Power Source Inc., Callaway Investments, who sponsors our Street Stock Series on Tuesday night, Race1.us, Canadian Rail Serve, The Hub used Sim Racing Giveaways, Loco Toco Designs. Thanks for their paint schemes that they did here for these guys. Got them looking sharp. Dynamic Auto Sports, USO, K&M Racing Series, and East West Modifieds. So that's going to do it here tonight. Like I said, it's for the HidesPride.com Championship 200. Gareth Gonder coming away with a surprising and pretty much dominant victory, starting 22nd, working his way all the way up to first, taking the lead right around lap 165 and never looking back over basically the top big three guys in Codell, Mullis, and Joe Shaffer Jr. Shaffer comes away with his 4th championship. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. Be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. Hit that notification button so that we'll know exactly when we come back live next season as we kick things off here in about 3 weeks or so. Start this whole shindig back up again. We'll have a new build. May have some new contenders running up front here as well, but you'll have to come back and check out to see exactly how all that plays out. That's going to do it for us here tonight. I am your host, Derek Robinson, producer Clay Snyder. This is SARA TV. You all have a good night.